to the last segment, which is trade bait. So who can we dangle out there to the rest of our opponents in our league to strengthen our team, right? So go ahead and start it, Vic.
Yeah,
I'll
so
let you run this one.
my first one is Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and we talked about it earlier. It's probably that last week was probably the last good game he'll have, especially it might go into a running back by committee situation. It was attributed to the weather. Previously, he had only one good game before that, which was week 1. It's not a situation you want to be in, especially a lot of people drafted him early. So if you could get something now, get something now.
Yeah, I mean that's my number one. So I think he was plagiarizing and looking at my screen.
Even though I finished my stuff before he did.
Either way, man, this motherfucker looking at my shit. So Le'Veon poses as a serious threat. When he was in Pittsburgh with a good team, he could catch the ball, he could block, he could run, he's patient. It's going to be a serious threat moving forward to Clyde Edwards-Helaire's stock. So again, I would try to get rid of him this week and maybe swap for a top tier receiver or something.
Going on to my next. Oh no, you didn't even do one, right? You just touched on.
Yeah, I just touched on it.
You're going to your second one and then.
Yeah, my next one is Julio Jones. So Julio Jones is coming off the biggest game of the season, and again, I like to see consistency. He's getting up there. He's battling injuries all season long. You just can't depend on him week in and week out. So try to get someone that is a little more consistent than Julio.
Especially when you got Calvin Ridley over there stealing all the touchdowns. It's just bad news for him.
Bad news, Jones.
Going on to my next, I was going to say sit on next trade bait. I have Travis Fulgham over there in Philadelphia. I touched on him earlier. I said the Eagles are smart. They're going to keep him in the rotation. And that's one of the things that worries me about him. Because in football, sometimes it's politics, like I was saying earlier.
Yeah.
And the starters who were previously starters keep their job, and then he might get reverted to 4th string, 5th string. But this guy produces. When he's on the field, he does the numbers, right?
Yeah.
So I don't want to deal with having a dud after he's been balling like that. So
right.
He has the production. He'll have the production this week. This week is probably like going to be his last week where he's going to put up numbers. But yeah, if you could get something right now or after this week or this weekend, because from here on out, the Eagles might fuck up and do some dumb shit and not start him. So
yeah, that's the fear, because right now they're battling injuries. I seen that Deshaun Jackson is scheduled to come back soon. So again, that I just really the only thing that I could see happening in a bad way is if the coaching staff really blows it and just stops playing the kid.
Yeah.
Even though he's got the hot hand. I don't envision that happening, but again, the Eagles have made terrible decisions up to this point, so we can't put it past them to just think that Fulgham's going to be, a vital point to the offense moving forward. So that's kind of where I'm at on that one as well.
So on a high note, if you do have him, if you don't trade him away, if he keeps on producing, good for you. But if you do trade him away, you'll probably get a decent.
You'll probably get something back really good right now.
Exactly.
Especially with the production that he's been putting out week in and week out. For my next one is Ryan Tannehill. Now, honestly, I tried to swap him for a running back or a wide receiver. He's had back-to-back 30-point games in a half PPR league.
Man's balling.
He's balling out right now. King Henry's balling out. He had a 200-yard rushing game last week. And those two, they work so well together. Ryan Tannehill is probably the best play-action quarterback at the moment in the league.
Money.
And that's all that they're doing, man. They're running the play-action, hitting them over the top.
Yeah.
And so forth. So
yeah, that's a good one because sometimes that offense gets so run heavy that Tannehill just doesn't have to do much.
Exactly.
Like I remember last season towards the end he didn't do much. I had him. It's like, damn, putting up like what 15, 17, like that's not enough, especially for a playoff push. You don't want that from your quarterback. So right now that he's on fire, definitely get what you could get for him. It's a good one, Mariano. Going on to my next one, I have Justin Jackson from the Chargers. He is going to be the back that gets all the carries. He had, I think, 68% of the touches last week. He's going to be the Eckler replacement for right now. So get him to the Eckler owner or get him to somebody that needs a running back because he'll be a productive running back up until week 10, I believe, 10, 11-ish when Eckler comes back. So your best bet will probably be getting him to the Eckler owner or someone that desperately needs a running back.
Yeah, so Justin Jackson racked up 94 scrimmage yards on 20 touches in the last game with Austin Eckler sideline. So he's going to get majority of the touches moving forward as long as Austin Eckler is sitting on the sideline. So that's a great call. Great call, Vic.
Especially this week going up against the Jags.
Yeah, I mean, he only put up 11 points in the half PPR league, 11.9 to be exact. So maybe if he has more production against Jacksonville, or against New Orleans 2 weeks ago.
That was 2 weeks ago, yeah.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
This week.
Yeah, he's got Jacksonville coming up this week. He's only projected 9.23 points in a half PPR.
I think he goes over that, though.
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, that's the best thing that could happen for his stock as well, is if he just balls out against Jacksonville, against a not-so-good defense, and then you can probably get more in return after this following week.
Exactly.
Yeah. My next one is Raheem Mostert. He just can't stay healthy, man. I mean, as I mentioned earlier in fantasy, you want to really rely on consistency for these last few weeks following the season, especially with the playoff push and hopefully to the championship as well.
Yep.
You just cannot rely on Mostert and honestly the whole 49ers backfield completely.
Such a rotating
carousel.
One week it was Jeff Wilson, one week it was McKinnon, one week it might be Tasty or whatever.
Yeah.
This week.
Yeah. It's Tasty. You hungry?
Tasty. I don't know what his name is. But yeah, they rotate back so much over there. It's crazy.
Yeah. Big time, man. Big time.
Going on to my last one, I have Amari Cooper. And Mariano was saying that is it standard or half PPR?
Yeah.
The numbers don't look that great. However, in PPR, if you have him, the numbers look amazing. He's only had one bad game, which was a 4-point game. So if you have him in a PPR league, get rid of him right now because, the red BB gun isn't doing it. He has to figure it out. He hasn't started in a while, so he has rust on him. That offense doesn't look the same without Dak. They're not putting up those big points like they used to. They used to get down the field so fast. So PPR, Amari Cooper has some value still. He still has a lot of good games behind him. So try to sell him. Try to get rid of him right now and get a decent flex or a decent running back if you can,
Yeah, I think a lot of people view Amari as a starting wide receiver, maybe a 2, even a flex. But if you looked at 2 weeks ago, this dates back to even when he was a Raider. He'll just disappear, man. I mean, that's the biggest thing. Against the New York Giants, he only had 4 targets, 2 receptions for 23 yards. And that's just not going to cut it, man. I mean, you just cannot disappear, especially in the second half of the season. Moving forward, he's got a relatively easy schedule. Now, we know that the East is a horrible division. So he's got Washington, Philly, Pittsburgh, Minnesota, Washington again. And then he hits a little rough patch. He's got Baltimore, Cincinnati, San Francisco, Philly, and then the Giants again. So again, I can almost guarantee he's gonna disappear probably 3 out of those last 6 games or so.
Yeah.
You know, so if you can get something good in return for Amari Cooper, jump all over it. Rock and roll, man.
That's all I got from my trade bait. Who you got left?
That's it, man. You took my last one too.
Took the last one. I plagiarized.
Plagiarism. Plagiarism at its finest. Victor plagiarized.
That's it. That's all we got for that segment, right?
Yeah. That's it.
That wraps up. That wraps it up for
Yeah.
That wraps it up for this week, you guys. This is week 7, right?
Yep. Week 7. This was a pretty quick episode, so hopefully you guys liked it. It's quick, short, sweet,
straight to the point.
Straight to the point. You know what I mean?
I think the week 9 episode is going to be more in depth because that's the halfway.
Yeah.
Like the halfway point of the season. We could even do it next week. We could do a halfway point.
Yeah.
Depends. Because the way the fantasy season works out, you know. But definitely stay tuned because there's so much changed within days. Like the Raiders, freaking their whole O-line might have COVID, you know. So stuff just changes so dramatically.
Very, very quick.
This is a season you got to be on shit. Like keep your ESPN updated. Like read as much as you can, and just stay on top of stuff.
And what I was kind of thinking, just to preview next week, I haven't even ran this by you, Vic, so we'll kind of just freestyle this.
I like surprises.
And see how you feel about this. But I was thinking about maybe posting a questionnaire on Instagram.
Oh, Q&A?
A Q&A, and just kind of go through. So maybe we'll do that for the 3rd segment. Normally we go start them, sit them, and then we'll do like a questionnaire. Maybe we'll do like a 10-question Q&A and see what you guys think of that. So moving forward, maybe we'll get you guys a little more involved, get a little more personal in your own individual teams.
Put you guys on the podcast like in a little...
Yeah, exactly. Put your little ad, your handle, and get you a little something.
Make you guys celebrities too.
Yeah. You can put some selfies on there, whatever you want to do.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Just include your bitch in there too. You know? No, just playing.
Oh, shit. All right, so that's all we got for this week. We appreciate everyone rocking with us. You know, the numbers don't lie. I asked you guys to help spread it and tell other people, and the numbers don't lie. The Stardom Sit-In video had like the most views it's had, close to 100 views, so I appreciate you guys listening to me. I feel like I have a voice amongst the fantasy community.
Absolutely, man.
You know, that's great. The subscribers have been a little steady, so if we could work on that, you know, tell your homies or whatever, you know, share the channel, do what you got to do. I know I help a lot of you. I say this a lot of times. I help a lot of you fuckers within the week, and you guys don't subscribe to the channel. I'm gonna stop doing these fucking videos if you guys don't subscribe to the channel.
For real.
Stop answering questions. I'm like, y'all gonna be like, yo, bruh, subscribe.
Subscribe.
You know
Hook a brother up. One last thing. Shout out to our boy Kevin Higgins. It's his birthday today.
Oh, yes,
I'm
sir.
rocking the Embrace Prodigy. This is his brand.
Yes, sir.
So support the homies, support your friends, and don't ask for a discount.
Nope.
All right? Pay full price for your friends, man. That's the biggest thing.
Support your local businesses,
Support your local businesses.
Because the big corporations have enough money.
Exactly. You don't need to be rocking all that Gucci and all that stuff like that, man. Support your friends.
Support your local podcast, too.
Local podcast. Hey, can't forget about that, right? Cannot forget about that.
Hell yeah. All right, you guys. It's been a pleasure. You know what I'm saying? Fantasy Experts, we out.
Later.